What's up, guys? It's your boy the Mad Boom, and I am back for another video. And I wanted to talk about this for so long. Part-timers. So you got full-timers, wrestlers that do full-time in the WWE. I'm talking about WWE, not AEW, because AEW, we don't like sometimes we don't like what they do, but I will give them this. They do not overwork their wrestlers. They are giving wrestlers great schedule. I think that's why so many wrestlers love AEW. All they do is work those TV shows, and that's so much better. And they probably get paid the same amount as WWE wrestlers. I think that's just so cool, and that helps out the business way more. And I think if you go to WWE, it's like, I'm not even just talking about success. I'm talking about how much you got to work. And my brother and me was talking about it. Jade Cargill, she going to have to work that schedule. Cody Rhodes is working that schedule. I know it's like, man, I'll just stick with that AEW schedule. I'm not going to even lie. And they probably pay you the same amount. So, that's the first thing. AEW schedule is cool, but WWE schedule, I'm talking about their schedule. Full-timers, they do live shows, live events, and they do the they do pay-per-view shows, and they do the TV tapings, right? And part-timers is where we're going to talk about today, because I'm starting to realize it. Being a part-timer really does not exist. And I hate WWE, man, sometimes, because they just do not treat their workers well sometimes, man. It kind of sucks a little bit. It sucks, man. Some of those people's like, man, why do they work so hard? And then they, reach the ceiling and cannot get past it. They just do not want to pay these wrestlers more, and they just fire them, man. I was watching an interview with Wade Barrett. He was talking about how the Bad News Barrett thing was doing great, and he was like, okay, when we about to start, like, we're gonna push this forward, because the whole point is, you do better, you're supposed to go up. That's the point of working. You find your character, you get a crowd reaction, you go up, and it's like, that's not real. That's not how it works in WWE. You don't go up. They choose who goes up. And that's just like, man. And then you get fired for doing your job. You do what they tell you to do, and then you get fired. That's pretty lame. But the schedule. A lot of wrestlers we've been seeing recently leave because that schedule is just crazy. Daniel Bryan left. Mark Henry left. A lot of these people leave. I think the schedule plays a part. And we're seeing it now, like with the part-timers. Let's get into it, basically. Let's start off with Edge. Edge, man. First of all, I'll say, he kind of did it to himself. I've been thinking about it today. I was like, Edge kind of did that to himself. He shouldn't have said nothing about him leaving or whatever. It felt like it was just his decision. It was like, if you wanted WWE to not, I guess sign you back or whatever, keep you, why would you do that? They would have kept you forever. Like, you're a WWE lifer, and you doing that at a live show saying you gonna retire and stuff, that kind of messed you up. So WWE wasn't gonna push you in anything, because he was saying he felt like they wasn't gonna do anything with him. You said you was going to retire and stuff around, like, a year around, like, the next year or whatever, and they ended up not putting you in anything, and then, like, your retirement just happened, and they had to move on. They moved on because you said you were going to retire, basically, and then you left WWE. So I have to at least say that about WWE. It's like, that kind of wants on Edge a little bit, but Edge basically, I guess, was like, wanted that part-time position, and they could have made him that like cool part-timer guy. They kind of was doing it, but then yeah, man, I guess he just wanted more money or whatever. I'm not really sure, but they didn't need him anymore. Once you become a part-timer, they kind of just move on from you, man. They move on from you. And Edge became one of those people. Now he's in AEW. It's like, they didn't need him anymore. He kind of did it himself, announcing that he might retire the next year. But, yeah, like, they didn't really need Edge anymore. Goldberg. When Triple H took over, man, Goldberg wasn't needed anymore. As a part-timer, he wasn't needed anymore. So, they ended up getting rid of Goldberg. It's like, dang, that's messed up. Vince was using Goldberg as a part-timer, but Triple H like, man, we don't need you, man. We don't need you. So Goldberg ended up, they didn't need him anymore. Goldberg was gone. And if Roman Reigns doesn't stop doing that part-time stuff, I think he will eventually be that next person to get, they don't need him anymore. The thing with part-time is fans move on, man. They move on to the next hot thing in wrestling, man. And that's what I think kept happening with Edge. If Edge would have stayed around the whole time, I think fans would have been like hyped for Edge, but he kept leaving and coming back. I remember he kept getting injured by the Judgment Day and then would come back and then get injured again. It's like 6 times they were doing that. It was like, man, but Roman Reigns leaves so much. It's really bad. I've made videos about it. He is super part-time now. And first of all, I like it because, like, man, wrestlers already overworked themselves in WWE. It's like, that's good, man. I'm happy for him, especially, I know he had the cancer thing. So it's like, I'm happy for him because wrestlers already don't get paid that much. So for you to be in that position where you can leave a little bit and also make a bunch of money, I think that's like, take advantage of it. Like, these people are cruel, so take advantage of that spot. But as a fan, like, man, I wish we had those belts on TV and stuff. And I'm like, man, I'm moving on, man. Cody Rhodes is there right now. He's like the new big good guy right now. And he took Roman Reigns' spot as the face of the company. And it just starts off with one guy, then it goes to 2 people, then it goes to 3 people. Cody Rhodes already passed Roman Reigns to me. I think Cody Rhodes might be number 1. Cody Rhodes is eventually going to be number 1. I'll say Roman Reigns is still the guy, kind of, but I think Cody Rhodes and him might be tied. Cody Rhodes, when he wins the belt for 100%, is the number 1 guy now. Roman Reigns is done, and the crowd is going to move on to Cody Rhodes. And then you got LA Knight, you got Seth Rollins, these guys that are around all the time. And 1 or 2 years later, Roman Reigns might be the 5th best guy on the show. Then he's going to be the 10th best guy, and then the 20th best guy. And then it's going to be like, oh, we don't really need Roman Reigns right now, man. WWE moves on. They move on from these guys, man, and they ain't going to need them anymore. And then they just gonna get rid of the part-timers. They get rid of a lot of like older guys, man. They don't need those people anymore. So yes, I just think the part-time position doesn't exist. If you are a part-time, the fans are gonna forget about you and they move on. And then you might get released. You have to worry about if you're gonna keep your job or not. Now there are rare occasions of some part-timers that they have to do like 20 years to earn that, I guess, part-time position, like Undertaker and Triple H and all those guys. They've earned that part-time position. But yes, some other guys, man, it's like, hey, you're not Triple H or you're not the Undertaker. You might not have earned that position. Edge was gone for 9 years, and I think that's what's like, man, Edge, you kind of don't hold the power in this situation. You might have to just do what they tell you to do. Or Goldberg, like when Triple H took, I was like, you don't hold the power, man. You're a WCW guy, man. You ain't been around that long, man. There's people that are way better than you, so it's like, we don't really need you in WWE, and that's what ended up happening. Now Goldberg is like, man, I want to be in the WWE, but they got rid of me, man. So I just think that's a serious thing people don't really talk about, being a part-timer in WWE. People act like it's just so easy. Oh, you can become a part-time wrestler or something like that, but I just don't think that position exists. You're either full-time or you're going to be out the company eventually. And I think the Dolph Ziggler release really opened my eyes. It's like, dang, is there really a future in WWE? Can you be in WWE forever? I hope, like, right now, Sheamus and Natalya will be, like, kind of the older people. I hope they get to end up staying in WWE the rest of their time, because that Dolph Ziggler one was like, he was around the whole time. He did his job. He was there for almost 20 years, and y'all got rid of him? That's just so sad. Maybe Dolph Ziggler chose to leave. I hope that's the way it went, because you don't just fire people for doing good. That's how I feel, but peace out, y'all. Anime Boom, my peace.